to Man's Kitchen. Today we're going to make a potato casserole. And I'll show you the ingredients right after I mention that you should go down and click the subscribe button and ding the bell icon so you always get updates when I post new videos. You should hit the like button at the end of this video if you liked watching it. And leave a comment and let the community here know what you like to do with potato salad. Potato casserole. Now, you can also follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook, so you can get behind the scenes details, updates, that kind of cool stuff. And I want to thank everybody on both the Garage Journal free parking forum and Sheerdog's Mayberry Lounge. I regularly do post these videos there. Now, Sheerdog, I get a ton of comments. It usually fills 2 or 3 pages worth of comments in the forum. The guys there are very passionate about food. On the flip side, over on Garage Journal, I don't get quite as many comments, but more people watch it on Garage Journal. So it's kind of a weird toss-up. I get more views from Garage Journal, but I get more feedback from Sheerdog. Now, let's start out with the ingredients for today. We have potatoes that I have peeled and cubed, and they're sitting in water so they don't turn brown. Then I have 1 cup of milk, 1/3 cup of 10% cream. I have 1/3 cup of cream cheese, 2/3 cup of mayonnaise, 2/3 cup of sour cream, 2 cups of shredded cheese. There is a 1 cup of marbled cheddar, 1 cup of mozzarella, and a couple slices of cheddar cheese that I just ripped up. So there's some little cubes of Swiss cheese. I said cheddar, I meant Swiss. We have our pepper and our salt, a little nutmeg, and some spray. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take our pot. Actually, the first thing we're going to do before I turn the camera on was I got the oven on and it is preheated to 400 degrees convection bake. I'm going to take my potatoes and drop them in here. I need a little more water to cover them up, and we're going to take some salt. Okay, so that's our kosher salt. I'm going to put a little more water in here. I'm going to put it on the stove setting to power boil with a lid on it. I'm going to boil these for about 20 minutes. I won't start counting 20 minutes until they start to boil. Action. Okay, so we have our trusty KitchenAid mixer here. And you know what? I almost forgot. Secret ingredient, bacon. Not that it's a secret ingredient, but what had happened was when I was making the bacon, I accidentally ate almost all the bacon. So that's why there's not as much bacon as you probably like to see. So anyways, we're going to throw our sour cream in here. Now, you're probably going to measure your sour cream and put it straight in here. I always put a little extra when I shoot these videos because of what gets stuck to the sides of the bowls. And I know that if I had small enough spatulas to get in here, I could get more of it out. But that's just what it is. Do you have to have a fancy KitchenAid mixer for this? No, you can do this with by hand, that's fine. We have our softened room temperature cream cheese, all of our milk and cream. We're going to attach the paddle, drop that in. We're going to lock this into position. Just going to start stirring it. Now, like I said, I had 3 different flavors of cheese in here, so I'm just going to give it a mix, because right now it's layered. And I'm going to put about half of it in. Okay. And it doesn't really matter when you do it, so I'm just going to throw the bacon in now. If you want the bacon just on top, put it on top. If you want it mixed throughout, throw it in. It's totally up to you. I want the bacon mixed throughout. So why I ended up eating it was camera wife Heather has this rule about bacon. If you're going to open up a pound of bacon, you have to cook it all, whether you only need half a pound or not. So then I'm like, okay, well, I got a half pound of bacon here to eat, and it turned into more of 3/4 of the package instead of half. I'm going to add a little bit of nutmeg. So nutmeg classically goes into cream sauces. Nutmeg is like salt, where you don't want to taste the nutmeg. You just want the nutmeg to affect the flavor the way salt does. Just like if you put enough salt in that you can taste the salt, you've put too much salt in. Okay, now that all of that is basically mixed, we're going to shut this off. Lift the head. Take our dirty dishes over to the sink, and then we're going to bring the potatoes. So I'm going to drain the potatoes out, and I'm going to go and get them for you. Alright, so I got my potatoes here, and they have been cooked, and they've been drained. So if you want to time this out, I set a timer on when I had about, once it got to its boil, I put the timer on for 15 minutes, and when the timer was up, that's when I started this. Now, if you know how long your oven takes to preheat, well, then you can even, hit your oven to 400 degrees for its preheat when your potatoes start boiling. That's fine. So now, I'm going to put this in here. Drop that in. We're going to lock this into position. We're going to start out slowly. Those potatoes are hot, and I don't want to get splattered with now hot cream because the potatoes will have started heating the cream up. So we're just going to go to a nice little stir. There we go. And now it's going to start incorporating. I'm going to grab a spatula just in case we need to push anything, knock anything back in. Okay. No big deal. Alright, we can go up to, we're only on speed stir right now. We can go up to 2. Go up to 4. I wouldn't advise going any higher than 4 with the amount I have in here, because there is a little bit of, well, it just looks quite full. Alright, and I'm going to let this go for not too much longer. Since the potatoes are basically mashing potatoes, this shouldn't take too long. And if you notice the camera bump, that's because my boy just bumped the camera while he's trying to get onto the bar stool. Alright, there we go. That right there is an ooey gooey mess of potatoes. Oh, and you can see all the cheese in there. All that stringy cheese. That's because we're using pizza mozzarella, and that's what's going to give us that nice ooey gooey stringiness that I crave when I have love cheesiness. And like you've heard me say before, I think I've used too much cheese. Said nobody ever. That's right. Nobody's ever said they've used too much cheese. Okay. So now we're going to go grab our casserole pan and a sprayer of butter-flavored canola oil. I don't really like canola oil, but this is what they sell at the store. And that ends up in the house, so gonna just give that a nice liberal coating in there. Pour in all of our ooey gooey cheesy goodness. So if you're not sure how much potatoes to do, just try and think of everything like ratios. So if my recipe, when I put this up there on the screen, is probably going to say 8 medium-sized russet potatoes. All right, I went with 8 potatoes, 9 potatoes, because that's what filled my casserole dish. So if you're going to use a smaller casserole dish and you're going to get 6 in there, then you're going to knock all the ingredients down by 1/3. And if you're not sure how to do that, you can just ask Google. Google loves doing that stuff for everybody. So, the last thing we're going to do is we're going to take the other half of the cheese, and we are going to cheese the top of this with the rest of that cheddar and Swiss. And if you really wanted, you could put some breadcrumbs on this. The bacon's inside, honey. That was camera wife Heather just came up from the base. I gotta stop calling her camera wife Heather because she hasn't really been doing much camera work for me lately. But she has been occupying the children so I can do this. So I do have to give her credit for that. And she just says to me, bacon! The bacon's on the inside. And now she's asking for green onions. The reason I'm not going to put green onions on this now is because after I bake this for you guys, we're going to put this in the car and we're going to drive an hour to her sister's. And then we're going to heat it up again then. I'll green onion it at that time. So this is going to go in the oven for 20 minutes. And when it comes out, we're going to have an ooey gooey potatoey mess of cheese. It's going to be awesome. See you in 20 minutes. All right, everybody, it's been 20 minutes. We've taken this now out of the oven. And look at that rich, ooey gooey cheesiness, the way it looks. Now, I've been advised that because we're taking this to Auntie Erica's for dinner, I'm not supposed to take a giant taste out of this that's noticeable. So we're just going to come in here on the corner where I don't have any top cheese. Okay. Okay, we all know what I'm about to say. This is amazing. There is so much ooey gooey cheesiness. Really hot. I can barely get any. But the pizza cheese really does give it that extra stringy flavor, stringy texture. Yeah. That's really, I should be letting this sit for about, 10, 15 minutes. But we have to leave 5 minutes ago. Days don't always plan out the way you want. So, if you like this recipe, make it. Write the comments below. Let us all know what you thought. If you like this channel, you hit that subscribe button. And if you like this video, hit the like button. And until next time, I am your host, James the Food Man, and I'll see you back next week in the Man's Kitchen.